Gamble, Huffman, Spain, and Webb, and Gregg. So we actually have 10 members present. I would ask that any committee members to please put the committee member tag on. The meeting has been called to order, y'all. If you are on the committee, please put the yellow committee member tag up so that you can be identified as a committee member. We do not have anyone that has signed up for public comment pursuant to Council Rule 28. The public comment period at the committee meeting is limited to items that appear on the committee agenda. We do not have anyone signed up. So with that, we'll go ahead and go into the proposed consent agenda. I will read the items that we have proposed for consent, and if anyone would like to pull anything, please feel free to pull those. For the proposed consent agenda, we have RS 2025-1379, 1380, 1381, 1382, 1383, 1385, 1386, 1387, 1388, 1389, 1391, 1392, 1393, 1394, and 1396. Does anyone have anything that they would like to be pulled? All right, seeing none, I'll go ahead and read those captions, and if someone wants to pull something, we'll have another opportunity. RS 2025-1379, a resolution approving Trenchy Amendment 2 between the Tennessee Valley Authority, National Electric Service, and the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County for the purchase of renewable energy. Sponsors Parker, Porterfield, Huffman, and Allen. RS 2025-1380, a resolution approving 4 grant subcontracts between the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County, acting by and through the Juvenile Justice Center, Metro Juvenile Court, and Southern Word, Youth Villages, Counterpunch Youth Academy, and Health Connect America, and amendments thereto. Sponsors Porterville, Evans, and others. RS 2025-1381, a resolution accepting a grant from the state of Tennessee Administrative Office of the Courts to the Metropolitan Government, acting by and through the Davidson County Juvenile Court for the provision of interpreter translation services for parties with limited English proficiency. Sponsors Porterville, Welsh, and others. RS 2025-1382, a resolution accepting a grant from the state of Tennessee Administrative Office of the Courts to the Metropolitan Government, acting by and through state trial courts for the provision of interpretation, translation services for court hearings involving individuals with limited English proficiency in the Davidson County Trial Courts. Sponsors Porterfield, Welsh, and others. RS 2025-1383, a resolution approving a grant memorandum of understanding or MOU from the National League of Cities to the Metropolitan Government, acting by and through the Metropolitan Finance Department to participate in the Southern Cities Economic Initiative, SCEI, to design and execute local economic strategies that boost economic mobility and resilience for residents and small businesses. Sponsors Porterfield, Welsh, and others. RS 2025-1385, a resolution approving an option agreement between the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County and Constance E. Finley et al., authorizing the purchase of certain property located at 1725 17th Avenue North. Sponsors Porterfield, Taylor, and Gamble. RS 2025-1386, a resolution accepting the terms of a cooperative purchasing master agreement for bulk solid waste and recycling equipment for the Department of General Services. Sponsors Porterfield, Hill, and others. RS 2025-1387, a resolution accepting terms from a cooperative purchasing master agreement for roadway paving equipment for the Department of General Services. Sponsors Porterfield and Hill. RS 2025-1388, a resolution approving the application for the regional alliances and multi-stakeholder partnerships to stimulate cybersecurity education and workforce development program, RAMPS, grant from the U.S. Department of Commerce, National Institute of Standards and Technology to the Metropolitan Government, acting by and through the Information Technology Services Department to build cybersecurity education and workforce development partnerships between employers, educational institutions, and community organizations to focus on developing the skilled workforce to meet industry needs within the local or regional economy. Sponsors Porterfield and others. RS 2025-1389, a resolution appropriating a total of $50,000 from the Nashville Public Library to ASMT Incorporated to implement the Empower program for adult autistic people. Sponsors Porterfield and others. The next item is RS 2025-1391, a resolution approving an agreement between the Safety Net Consortium of Middle Tennessee, LLC, and the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County, acting by and through the Metropolitan Board of Health to participate as a member organization in the Safety Net Consortium of Middle Tennessee to advocate, build capacity, and coordinate efforts to improve the health of medically underserved. Sponsors Porterfield, Evans, and others. RS 2025-1392, a resolution approving an agreement between the Metropolitan Government of Health Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County, acting by and through the Metropolitan Board of Health and the University of Memphis School of Public Health to provide clinical experience opportunities for its students, sponsors Porterfield, Evans, and others. RS 2025-1393, a resolution accepting a grant from the Tennessee Department of Finance and Administration to the Metropolitan Government, acting by and through the Office of Family Safety to host the Tennessee Family Justice Center statewide conference to enhance the statewide network of family justice centers and increase the capacity and skills of statewide teams, sponsors Porterfield, Evans, and others. RS 2025-1394, resolution accepting a Project Safe Neighborhoods grant from the Tennessee Department of Finance and Administration, Office of Criminal Justice Programs to the Metropolitan Government, acting by and through the Metropolitan Nashville Police Department to reduce gun-related violence in Nashville by providing funding for overtime for the investigation of violent crimes involving guns, sponsors Porterfield, Evans, and others. RS 2025-1396, a resolution approving an application for a fire prevention and safety grant from the U.S. Department of Homeland Security to the Metropolitan Government, acting by and through the Metropolitan National Fire Department to provide funding to support two origin and cause arson investigators and the purchase of a smart fire safety trailer for use in educating the public about fire prevention and safety. Sponsors Porterfield, Evans, and others. And those are all of the items that have been proposed for the consent agenda. Is there anything that anyone would like to pull? Councilmember Allen, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Can we pull RS 2025-1383 and 1386?
Yes, agenda item number 5, RS 2025-1383 has been pulled, as well as agenda item number 8, RS 2025-1386. They both have been pulled from the consent agenda. Is there anything else? All right, seeing none, can I get a motion? Is there a second? It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Any opposed, nay. Any abstentions or anyone not voting? Consent agenda passes 10 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting. The first item that is not on the consent agenda is agenda item number 5, 2025. RS 2025-1383, a resolution approving a grant memorandum of understanding MOU from the National League of Cities to the Metropolitan Government, acting by and through the Metropolitan Finance Department to participate in the Southern Cities Economic Initiative, SCEI, to design and execute local economic strategies that boost economic mobility and resilience for residents and small businesses. Sponsors Porterfield, Welsh, Huffman, Allen, Gadd, and Toombs. Can I get a motion? Is there a second? It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Councilmember Allen, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I actually meant to pull 1384, but this is exciting that we're doing this, and I move for approval. And hope we get to talk about 1384.
Awesome. 1384 is not on consent, so it's your lucky day, Councilmember. Any additional discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Any opposed, nay. Any abstentions or anyone not voting? Motion carries 10 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting. The next item is RS 2025-1384, a resolution appropriating $50,000 from the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County, acting by and through the Metropolitan Action Commission and Music City Construction Careers, and approving a grant contract by and between the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County, acting by and through the Metropolitan Action Commission and Music City Construction Careers for the provision of a workforce development initiative that prepares Nashville residents for successful careers in the skilled construction trades through apprenticeship readiness training, industry recognized certification, and job placement support. Sponsors Sepulveda, Evans, Welsh, Huffman, Allen, Gadd, and Toombs. Can I get a motion? So moved. Is there a second? It's been moved and properly seconded. Councilor Allen, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I did have a question about this. Since several other council members and I spent a lot of time on the whole nonprofit grant process and just realizing the complications that happen in not getting allocated money until the year starts, and then that it takes time to do the contracts, and sometimes you can't have a whole year's worth of work because of that. I'm just wondering, I mean, my understanding is we're essentially now approving something that happened, which is great. MC3 is amazing, and I'm fully excited about providing them with funding for this year and next year, and as long as they're doing a great job, they're doing. But is this the only way that we can ensure somebody gets a full 12 months to actually work on something, or is there another way?
I will direct that question to Finance. If you could introduce yourself, please.
Thank you, Chair. Mary Jo Wiggins, Finance. I don't know if there's anybody here from MAC, but we did ask them about this when it came through, and the work was complete. The contract was signed. The funding has been done. There was some confusion with MAC on council approval. So unfortunately, this is a little bit after the fact council approval of the scope of work, the contract, the payments, everything. So they had the time, the work is complete.
Great. Okay, so that's good. It's great work. So in general, when we do something like this, is there time to have this in our budget and have nonprofits ask for funding in our budget cycle and get it so that they can start on day one?
Yes, this was FY25 funding. The confusion was for MAC to bring it to council.
Gotcha.
Before the contract.
Understood. Okay.
So they know that now, and they are working on the FY26 contract.
Okay. And they were able to start on that one quickly.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Allen. Councilmember Cortez, you're recognized.
Actually, my question was answered, but I just want to say I'm a big fan of Music City construction careers. So thank you for the question, and I'm good. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other questions? All right, seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Any opposed, nay. Any abstentions? Chair needs to abstain. So the motion carries 9 in favor, 0 against, and 1 not voting. The next item that is not on the consent agenda is RS 2025-1386, a resolution accepting the terms for a cooperative purchasing master agreement for bulk solid waste and recycling equipment for the Department of General Services. Sponsors Porterville, Hill, Allen, and Bradford. Can I get a motion? Is there a second? It's been moved and properly seconded. Councilmember Allen, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As one of the garbage geeks on the council, I was just wondering about, when I looked through this contract, it looked like there were 3 or 4 other companies that did the same thing. And so if we're doing a cooperative purchasing agreement to save money, why are we restricting it to only one of the 5 companies that provides this type of equipment?
Thank you so very much, Councilmember. Do we have someone that would like to step up and answer that question?
And I think it's a general services question, because I asked Director Thurman and she kicked it back to general services, who she was thinking it was a fleet thing.
Thank you so much. We have someone approaching the podium. If you could please introduce yourself. You're recognized.
Good afternoon, Chair. Brandon Vanetta, the Office of Fleet Management. We're using this cooperative for the purchase of Pac-Mac knuckle booms. That's the reason we're actually using this, and it's for the Department of, or NDOT is who we're buying them for.
Councilmember.
And what is it you're purchasing? And is the whole MAC the only, there are 4 other companies listed that have the exact same description in terms of what kind of solid waste equipment they provide. Is this the only company that does that?
I think this was the only company that provided Pac-Mac knuckle booms.
Pac-Mac knuckle booms, okay, which is, I guess, part of the brush pickup. So, okay, thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Any opposed, nay. Any abstentions or anyone not voting? Motion carries 10 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting. The next item not on the consent agenda is RS 2025. Actually, that one was on consent. The next item that's not on the consent agenda is RS 2025-1390, a resolution approving an application for an Arts Build Communities grant from the Tennessee Arts Commission to the Metropolitan Government, acting by and through the Metropolitan Arts Commission for a mural at the Bordeaux Library branch designed with active input from the community to enhance the overall sense of belonging among residents and provide them with a unique opportunity to see their ideas and voices represented in a public space. Sponsors Kimbrough, Porterville, Gadd, Walsh, Allen, and Toombs. Can I get a motion? Is there a second? It's been moved and properly seconded. There is a substitute. Can someone move the substitute? Is there a second? It has been moved and properly seconded. Can we get someone to explain the nature of the substitute? Director Darby, you're recognized.
The substitute is housekeeping in nature. It changes the Metropolitan Arts Commission to the Nashville Public Library.
Thank you so very much, Director Darby. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the substitute say aye. Any opposed, nay. Any abstentions or anyone not voting? Substitute passes 10 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting. Can I get a motion as substituted? Is there a second? It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion on the resolution as substituted? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Any opposed, nay. Any abstentions or anyone not voting? Motion carries 10 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting. The next item that is not on the consent agenda is RS 2025-1395, a resolution approving an intergovernmental agreement by and between the Nashville Fire Department, Fire Marshal's Office, NFD, and the City of Berry Hill for the provision of fire and building safety inspection services for Berry Hill. Sponsors Porterville and Evans. Can I get a motion? It has been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Can we get an explanation of this one from either from, I guess, fire? I see some people headed this way. And if you could just introduce yourself when you get to the podium and you're recognized.
My name is Lawrence Hutchison. I'm the fire marshal here in Nashville. So this MOU would go in place to basically give our office the ability to conduct all the life safety inspections related to complaints, developmental services, or anything related to life safety. We've been doing the responses there's no other responder other than the fire department. But the state of Tennessee, because Berry Hill is an exempt jurisdiction as well, the state of Tennessee has been taking care of all the life safety permitting and life safety inspections related to. So what this would do is put it all back in Nashville, where we're doing all the responses anyways.
Okay, thank you. Are there any additional questions? Councilmember Evan Siegel, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. Thanks. I'm just curious. This makes sense to me. I'm curious, does this align with what our other satellite cities do as well?
Similar, but this one's taken probably 2 years to get here, so we're working there. Our next one, we're looking at them all individually and trying to figure out the best way to navigate through those.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so very much. Are there any additional questions? Great, seeing none. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed, nay. Any abstentions or anyone not voting? Motion carries 10 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting. Thank you so much for coming up with that explanation. The next item that's not on the consent agenda is RS 2025-1402, a resolution authorizing the Metropolitan Department of Law to submit an offer of judgment pursuant to Fed R CFP 68 to compromise and settle the claims of Lonesome 10 Miles LLC against the Metropolitan government in the amount of $345,000 to be paid from the Metro Water Services budget plus reasonable costs, including Lonesome 10 Miles LLC's incurred attorney's fees to be paid from the Judgment and Losses Fund. Sponsors Porterfield. Can I get a motion? Is there a second? It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Councilmember Evan Siegel, you are recognized.
Thank you, Chair. I was trying to read the analysis, and I guess I'm trying to figure out where we went wrong here. Like why are we liable for this amount of money?
We have someone here from legal. If you could just introduce yourself, please.
Yes, Will Ayers from Metro Legal. So what happened here is we had a bar that was doing a renovation, and in doing their permits through Metro Water, they submitted some information that led Metro Water to think that they didn't have enough flow to run their sprinklers in the event of a fire. There were ships passing the night, basically, and it turned out that they did have the correct amount of flow. The plaintiff bore some responsibility for passing on that information, but Metro also had existing fire flow data that would have put us on notice that they actually had the requisite flow. The upshot of that is that they were required to put in a new water line on Division Street at pretty great expense. And as it turned out, that water line was just not necessary for their fire flow needs. So that's what prompted this offer of judgment. And to clarify, this is not necessarily a settlement. An offer of judgment works a little differently. On the one hand, if it's accepted, then it would act as a settlement. It would resolve the case for the sum you see in there. If it's rejected, it acts as an insurance policy, and that if we go to trial in this case and the plaintiff recovers less than that $345,000 figure, they do not recover any attorney's fees that are incurred after the date that they reject that offer. So it gives us a little bit of insurance against attorney's fees accruing throughout the pendency of the case. So we're ready to keep defending it. We will keep defending it if the offer is rejected, but this offer just helps reduce our exposure potentially to attorney's fees.
Thank you so very much. Councilmember Evan Siegel, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair. It says this went to mediation. I'm curious, what is the plaintiff claiming they're owed?
The plaintiff spent north of $600,000 on this water line upgrade. Metro Water, their best estimate of the appropriate cost to do this same upgrade was about $300,000, maybe a little less. So in our view, their costs are inflated. Their costs are way too high, and they shouldn't be able to recover that full amount.
Councilmember.
Thank you, Chair. And I guess what I think is probably my last question, we had data, but we have all kinds of data, and it looks like from the analysis, they never objected to having to do this. So I'm just like a little curious legally how we can be liable when nobody objects and they do it and they don't try to raise a red flag beforehand. We deal with so many people and we rely on them to give us data for all these permits and approvals.
You're recognized.
Oh, they did object. They definitely objected during the permitting process. It's just that the sides just never shared the information that would have let everybody realize, oh, wait, we don't actually need to do this upgrade. But they did make a lot of noise about it during the process.
Councilmember? Okay, thank you. Any additional questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Any opposed, nay. Any abstentions or anyone not voting? Motion carries 10 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting. The next item is bills on second reading, BL 2025-906, an ordinance amending certain sections and subsections of chapters 2.62, 12.56, 13.02, 13.08, 13.20, and 13.32 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws to allow the National Department of Transportation and Multimodal Infrastructure, or NDOT, to increase its permit and administrative fees over time as necessary. Sponsors Parker, Porterfield, and Hill. Can I get a motion? Is there a second? This was withdrawn in transportation and infrastructure, so we are just going to withdraw it. The next item on the agenda is BL 2025-910, an ordinance approving a revocable license agreement between the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County, acting by and through the Metropolitan Department of Human Resources and Operations Stand Down for the use of office space. This is also going to be withdrawn. The next item is BL 2025-911, an ordinance approving a lease agreement between the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County by and through the Mayor's Office of Emergency Management and the Department of General Services and the Community Resource Center for use of a warehouse at 801 Anderson Lane, Madison, Tennessee, 37115. Sponsors Hancock, Porterfield, and Gamble. Can I get a motion? Is there a second? It has been moved and properly seconded. There will be, Councilmember Evans Siegel, you're recognized.
Oh, thanks, Chair. I was just going to recommend that we defer this one meeting after talking to Metro Legal.
Thank you. I was going to say there will be there has been a motion for a 1 meeting deferral. Can I get a second? It's been moved and properly seconded. There will be an amendment coming to this. So if we could vote on the 1 meeting deferral, that will allow time for the amendment. Is there any discussion on the 1 meeting deferral? Seeing none, all those in favor of a 1 meeting deferral say aye. Any abstentions? Anyone against the 1 meeting deferral? Any abstentions? Seeing none, 10 in favor, 0 against, 0 not voting for a 1 meeting deferral. And the last item is BL 2025-951, an ordinance authorizing the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County, acting by and through the Metropolitan Department of Water and Sewerage Services, to enter into an agreement with Fisk University to provide improved green stormwater infrastructure through the construction of a green roof. Sponsors Taylor, Porterfield, Gamble, Parker, Allen, Gadd, and Welsh. Can I get a motion? Is there a second? It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Can we have someone from Water to come up and explain this project, please?
Good evening. I'm going to ask Rebecca Dawn from Metro Water Services to address your questions for you.
Thank you.
This project is to construct a green roof on the Allied Services building at Fisk University. Fisk did come to us requesting to pay into our stormwater project fund because they no longer had the funding to pay for the entire green roof. So instead, we thought it'd be a good opportunity for us to partner with them and pay for a portion of the green roof so that we could have green infrastructure in the combined sewer overflow to help with our consent decree.
Thank you so very much. Does anyone have any questions? All right, Councilmember Evans Siegel, you're recognized.
Thanks. I just want to thank Water for coming up with this solution because I know that the funding has been an issue for Fisk in some ways, and our combined sewer system is also an issue for us in many ways. So I just really appreciate this solution.
Thank you. Any additional comments, questions, or concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Any opposed, nay. Any abstentions or anyone not voting? That concludes our meeting, and we're going to have a special guest to come and gavel us out. We have young Mr. Cortez with us, so we're going to let him gavel out the meeting. Meeting adjourned.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information on this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.